Well, for those of you that are new to our service this morning, welcome. Here at Trinity, before we get into the sermon, we have what's called a Worldview segment. And the reason we have a Worldview segment is because we believe here at Trinity we're a spiritual intersection where moral, cultural, social, political issues collide with biblical truth. We base this on a verse of Scripture, particularly out of the Old Testament, 1 Chronicles 12:32, where it says, "The sons of Issachar had wisdom regarding the times in which they lived, and they knew what Israel ought to do." So as Christians today, we need to discern the times for two reasons. We need to be informed to know how to pray so that we can, number two, be empowered to act, to do something, whatever the Lord tells you to do. Pray more, share more, fast, start a small group, start a nonprofit, go out and vote, run for office, whatever it is, we have to pray so that we could do. And I want to continue to talk about what's happening in Israel right now, in the Holy Land. The whole world is rising up against Israel. It's quite remarkable. It's at a level of satanic, in my opinion. Anti-Semitic crimes are up by over 1,300% in London alone. Just yesterday in Washington, D.C., in the United States of America, Macklemore, a rapper, was helping to lead a gathering of over 1,000 protesters protesting against Israel, shouting Allah Akbar, shouting death to Israel, glory to our martyrs, waving Palestinian flags, 100,000 strong. This rapper said that Israel was guilty of genocide because of what they're doing in Gaza. There is a defining historical and spiritual moments that take place in a century, and this is one of them. Left-leaning Latin countries are pulling ambassadors from their Israeli posts like Colombia and other Latin countries. Turkey and Iran are threatening to enter into this conflict. Here's what we know. China, Iran, North Korea, and Russia are all a part of this evil axis. They support and sponsor terrorism to destabilize the world and topple Western civilization, which to them is Christian civilization. It is, in that sense, a holy war. In London and in Los Angeles, all of these attacks against Jewish people. In Los Angeles, a man screaming, "Kill Jews," attempted to break into a family home. London girls in the playground are told that they are stinking Jews and should stay off the slide. In China, posts like Jews about being parasites, vampires, and snakes are proliferating social media and are attracting thousands of likes. So the only other time that it was as dangerous or more dangerous for Jews in the world in this past 100 years as what's happening today is during World War II. This is a singular global event. It is a defining moment for this new century, and it has become a line drawn in the sand between good and evil, right and wrong, civilized nations and barbaric nations. It is a new dark age that is looming. Now, it's hard to imagine. All of the global outrage is not against the terrorist group who slaughtered in a most grisly way innocent men, women, and children, put babies alive in ovens to cook them, but against Israel. And Israel, the Israeli people are God's chosen people. The land that they're in is the land that God promised to Abraham, the land that David fought and secured. It's called the Holy Land in the Bible, not Palestine. And Israel is the only democratic nation in all of the Middle East, and they are only 75 years young. They were non-existent as a nation until 1948. And in a short 75 years, they have become, in a miraculous way, an economic and military powerhouse. They are surrounded in a sea of enemies, and right now they are fighting for their very survival and for their very existence. And here's what we know. Behind every natural battle, there is a supernatural battle. Behind every physical conflict, there is a spiritual conflict. And what this is exposing is what the Bible prophesied would happen in the last days, an all-out hatred against God's chosen people. Scripture commands Christians to pray for the peace of Jerusalem. And on this Veterans Week leading up to Veterans Day, you veterans know peace does not come through compromise. Peace can only come if one prevails against the evil that is trying to harm the innocent. Fight on, Israel, fight on. And this conflict is not against the Palestinian people. They are as much victims as the Israelis are. They are caught in the battle between a terrorist group that has overtaken the Gaza Strip. So we must also pray for those innocent Palestinians. And we must understand that all innocent blood that is shed, all innocent Palestinians that die, the blood is on the hands of the terrorists, Hamas itself. They're the ones that started this war. They're the ones that fired the first shots. And Israel must stand strong no matter what the outrage is in the world until they have pushed the enemy out of that territory. Newly elected Speaker Mike Johnson has shown his support for Israel by making plans to deliver billions in aid to Israel. We also tip our hat and give appreciation to President Joe Biden. He has remained strong in his support with Israel. He's beginning to wobble a little bit. The pressure is on, but on this issue, he is on the right side, and we must pray that he continues to be courageous. Now, this could be the beginning of the end. This could be the moment when the Bible has prophesied that the Antichrist will come on the scene, and one of the first things that he does is he brokers a peace agreement between Israel and her enemies. So I would say to you, church, stay tuned, stay alert, and stay prayed up.